Now, the thing with watercolor is that we're essentially always working with a third color, the white of the paper. So let's get a sense of the range of colors that we can get from each of these different mixes. Hi, it's Anna Mason, and in this watercolor mini class, I'm going to share with you a fun exercise I encourage my members to do. It's great for getting to know your paints and exploring what happens when you mix them. You'll need your sketchbook, paints, palette, and a medium-sized brush. I'm using paint colours from the selection I recommend, but you can do this with whatever you have available. Let's take a look. Let's begin with a bright colour like this Opera Rose. Using a large selection of colours like I do means that I would usually be combining this colour with a colour close to it on the colour wheel, like perhaps Scarlet Lake or Quinacridone Violet. But very often I'll want to make a bright colour less bright, and for that I'll usually look to add one or more of my neutral colours. So let's experiment with combining Opera Rose with my blue neutral Payne's Grey. Let's start by mixing some really thick Opera Rose. So we want it pure and neat and just nice and thick like this, so it's super bright. And we'll just start over on this side of the paper and do a little block. It doesn't matter what shape you do it. So we can see it really clearly and just see exactly what kind of hue it looks like. And then I'm gonna clean off that brush and go with some really thick and neat Payne's Grey. So pop that over here. Now, let's do a sort of 50-50 combo of the two. So we want a similar amount of both of them. But the Payne's Grey is obviously darker and it's going to overwhelm the Opera Rose when it's equal quantities. So it will look more blue or more Payne's Grey, and it can't be that scientific about it. But I would say that feels like a kind of reasonable 50-50 approximation. So I'm going to stick that in the middle here. Again, this isn't a science experiment. We just want to get a rough idea. If that's in the middle, then let's go the Opera Rose side of it and pop in some more. Again, you could be far more scientific than this. I'm not going to. I just want to get an idea of the range of hues available when we mix like this. So we've got one there, and then I'm going to add in even more of the Opera Rose. So I'm trying to get the next stage in here. I'm being reasonably gentle with how I'm working into this paint to just preserve the bristles on my brush. So something like that. And then I can do it the other side as well. So we've got our 50-50 combo there. And then we'll add to that a bit more of the Payne's Grey. End up with something like that. I want it to be a bit thicker than that actually. So let's just look for something on the palette that's, yeah, that's okay. I mean, it probably could have been a bit more pink there, but that's all right. We're just looking for a broad range. So I'm adding in a bit more, and that takes me to a more subtle shift from the neat Payne's Grey. Now, the thing with watercolor is that we're essentially always working with a third color, the white of the paper. So let's get a sense of the range of colors that we can get from each of these different mixes. So I'm just going to completely wash off my brush, so it's just got water on it. Obviously my water's a bit dirty, but that's fine for the purposes of this. And then I'm just going to take some water on here, and we're doing a sort of a look at the tonal range within each of these colours. So even just with the two paints, you can actually, by adding water, end up creating loads more colours. You've got a whole other range. And again, this is not, doesn't have to be very precise. It's just to give you that visual reference there in your sketchbook, to just give you a indication of just how many colours you can make from just two paints.
If you haven't taken your free full-length watercolour class yet, you're missing out. Step by step, I'll guide you through painting a 3D pear that looks real enough to pick up and eat. I'll explain not just what to do, but why, so you'll learn a reliable method you can use for painting all kinds of subjects that make your heart sing. You'll discover that you're already a better artist than you thought, and like thousands of others who painted their free pear before you, this discovery might just ignite a spark in you that wants to take this further. Which is where Nature Studio membership comes in. Joining gives you access to hundreds more classes that'll help you develop your skills and grow as an artist. And in addition to the classes, when you join, you become part of a global community of like-minded creatives who can support you and offer you feedback if and when you need it. Get the free pear class now and enjoy discovering wherever it takes you next.